everyone, and welcome. Today, we're asking a big question. Can I learn something about genetically modified organisms? It sounds complicated. Yeah, I know, it sounds complicated. But trust me, it's super interesting. Have you ever heard of GMOs before? Maybe in the grocery store. Well, let's dive in and let's find out what they're all about. Alright? So, let me tell you something about Rosalie Elasu. She used to work far away in Singapore. Then, she became a farmer here in the Philippines. She learned about something called BT corn. So, what's BT corn? BT corn is a special type of genetically modified organism or GMO. That means that the scientists change it, a little bit to make it stronger. This is a type of corn where it can fight off pests called Asian corn borer. These borers are likely tiny bugs that can destroy the corn. Now, Miss Alicious tried, planting this what we call baby corn. And guess what? She harvested more corn than before. She didn't even need to spray those, insect killers or insecticides. Isn't that so amazing? So, GMOs can help farmers grow more food for us. Now, you might be thinking, genetic engineering sounds new, right? But actually, people have been changing plants and animals for a very long time now. Remember, when people started choosing the best plants to grow or the friendliest animals to keep, that's kind of genetic change tool. The term genetic engineering was created by Jack Williamson. It's Jack Williamson. Was it again? Perfect. It's Jack Williamson. So, genetic engineering is when the scientists change the genes of a plant or animals in a lab. Genes are like a tiny instruction living inside living things. Scientists can move new genes from one thing to another. Now, in 1973, scientists made a bacteria called E. coli and was resistant to antibiotics. Nowadays, scientists are working on all sorts of GMOs. For example, they're trying to make a mosquitoes that can spread Zika virus. What are they making again? A mosquito that can spread Zika virus. But some people, worry about the rampant emergence of GMOs. They ask if it is really safe for us or for the environment around us. These are the important questions. It's good to think about all the sides of the story. So, today, we learned that GMO are plants and animals that have been changed by the scientists inside where? Inside where? Perfect. From laboratories. They can help not us, consumers, farmers, and other living organisms, so that we don't worry about them. And greatly it helps the farmers to grow more foods so that their plants cannot be infested with insects. So, today, what do you think about GMOs? Do you think they are a good idea for us, people? If yes, comment down below. Till I see you next time.
So our next topic is genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, these are organisms created through genetic engineering, meaning scientists directly change their DNA. According to World Health Organization, or WHO 2014, a GMO is an organism, whether plant, animals, or microorganism, in which the genetic material or the DNA has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally by mating or natural recombination. In short, GMOs are living things whose genes were changed in a lab to give them new traits that they don't naturally have. So there's a process behind this. Scientists identify a useful gene, for example, one that helps fight pests or disease. This gene is then taken from one organism, like bacteria, and inserted into another organism, like plants, using genetic engineering tools. The goal is to make the new organism stronger, more resistant, or more nutritious. And now let's move to the genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, in food and agriculture. According to the Center for Ecogenetics and Environmental Health, or CEH, 2013, GMOs play several important roles in the food and agricultural industries. First is pest resistance. Some plants are modified to resist pests that usually destroy crops. For example is BT corn. Scientists inserted a gene from a bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, BT, into corn. This bacterium produces a protein that is toxic to corn borers, or the worms. As a result, BT corn can protect itself from pests without needing chemical pesticides. Next is virus resistance. Some genetically modified plants can resist viral infections that would normally damage them. For example, genetically modified papaya, or it is called rainbow papaya. Scientists introduce a protein from the virus itself into the papaya plant. This made the plant immune to virus, just like how vaccines protect humans from diseases like measles or flu. Next is herbicide tolerance. These plants can survive even when herbicides, weed killers, are sprayed. Example, Roundup Ready soybeans. They contain a gene that allows them to tolerate the herbicides glyphosate. Farmers can spray herbicide to kill weeds without harming the soybeans. Next is fortification. Some plants are genetically modified to contain more vitamins or more minerals to improve nutrition. For example is golden rice. It was developed by adding biosynthesis genes that produce beta-carotene, which is a source of vitamin A. This helps prevent vitamin A deficiency, especially in developing countries. Next is cosmetic preservation. Some GMOs are made to look fresh and appealing longer. Arctic apple. It was genetically modified to suppress browning that happens when the apple is cut or bruised. This helps maintain its color and freshness, reducing food waste.
And lastly is increased growth rate. Some genetically modified animals or plants grow faster or produce more yield than normal. Example is Aqua Advantage salmon. Scientists inserted a gene from an ocean pout, an eel-like fish, in the Pacific Chinook salmon. This makes the salmon grow much faster than usual, helping increase food production.
And that's all about the genetically modified organisms.
GMOs, or genetically modified organism, and non-food crops and microorganisms. First, flower production are seen in modified color and extended vase life of flowers. Scientists use GMOs to change the color of lifespan of flower. For example, ani is kanang blue roses are made by adding special genes kuno gikan sa other nga plants that nagproduce og blue pigments. These genes make the flowers create a new color and live longer. So ang purpose pala niya is to make flower more attractive and last longer. Second is paper production. Modified characteristic of trees for higher yield of paper production. Scientists insert genes that change how lignin, the hard part sa kanang wood, na gihimo. So, it is easier to remove when making paper. So, ang purpose po niya is maka-make siya paper production faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Third is pharmaceutical production. Some plants are genetically modified to produce medicines. For example, ani niya is kaning the periwinkle plant. It's changed to produce more of a compound called vinblastine, which is used to treat cancer. And the purpose ani niya is kanang to produce useful drugs from plants in larger amount. Fourth is bioremediation. Plants can be modified to clean polluted soil or water. For instance, the shrub tobacco plant is also absorb heavy metals like sa kanang zinc, lead, cadmium from the environment. So, purpose to clean up pollution using mag-use siya plants instead of sa machine. And the fifth is the enzyme and drug production. Microorganisms like bacteria are modified to produce useful substances such as enzymes or drugs. For example, a bacteria is changed to make more of enzyme used to improve food flavor. And the last one is GMOs in the medical field. Genetic engineering helps make new treatment and medicines. Example, scientists inserted a human insulin gene into bacteria so the bacteria could produce humalog, replace animal insulin that cause allergies in some people. Purpose is to create safe and effective medicine for diseases like sa mga diabeteson.
So hi everyone, my name is Jella Gisabi here and I'll be talking about the benefits of GMOs. So the first one is higher efficiency in farming. So GMOs improve farming efficiency. These crops are resistant to pests, so farmers need fewer pesticides. This reduces cost and labor, making farming more productive. So question number 1, how do GMOs improve farming efficiency? So the answer is, GMOs reduce the need for pesticides, cutting costs and labor while boosting productivity. So the second benefit is the increase in harvest. So GMOs also lead to higher harvest by being resistant to disease and pests. These crops yields more, helping feed more people globally. So question number 2, what impact do GMOs have on harvest? So the answer is, GMOs produce higher yields by resisting pests and disease, increasing food availability. So the third benefit is controlling fertility. GMOs control fertility, meaning hybrid seeds are purer and more productive, resulting in higher yields for farmers. So question number 3, what does control infertility means for GMOs? So the answer is, it ensures that hybrid seeds are purer and more productive, leading to better crop yields. Benefit number 4, increase in food processing. Next, GMOs improve food processing. Crops like genetically modified tomatoes have longer shelf lives, which helps reduce waste and improve food storage. Question number 4. How do GMOs benefit food processing? The answer is they increase shelf life, helping reduce food waste and making storage easier. So benefit number 5. Improvement of desirable characteristics. GMOs can also enhance food qualities like better color, taste, and nutritional value. For example, some GMOs are modified to reduce enzymes or increase vitamins. So question number 5. What desirable traits can GMOs improve? So the answer is GMOs can improve food color, taste, and nutritional content, like increasing vitamins or reducing harmful enzymes. So benefit number 6 is nutritional and pharmaceutical enhancement. GMOs can improve nutrition. Crops like golden rice are fortified with vitamin A to help address nutrient deficiencies and improve health. So question number 6. How do GMOs enhance nutrition? The answer is some GMO like golden rice are fortified with essential vitamins to fight nutritional deficiencies. So to wrap up, GMO benefits farming, food production, and nutrition. They offer more efficient, sustainable ways to feed the world. Thank you.
Reduce the use of fertilizer of pesticides, the benefits of potential risks of GMOs. What is GMOs? Mean stands for genetically modified organism.
Global GMO farmlands, over 400 million acres of GMO farmlands worldwide. Top operators, United States, Brazil, Argentina, India, and Canada. Common GMO crops, alfalfa, corn, papaya, soybeans, sugar beets, and squash. Made to resist pests and reduce fertilizer, pesticide use.
And also, there's examples of foods GMOs.
Here example of foods with GMOs. Kellogg cornflakes, Cracker Chewy granola bars, Ultra Slim Fast, Cracker yellow cornmeal, Alpo dry pit foods. GMO research in animals industries. Research on Pacific salmon growing twice as fast as native species. Research on chickens resistant to 115N1 bird flu virus. These GM animals are still in laboratory testing and not yet for public consumption. Potential risks of GMOs. Opponents claim GMOs can cause superweeds, resistance to pesticides. Over 12 million acres in the U.S. affected by superweeds problems. Genetic engineering is still young science of fake of uncertainties. Major concerns about GMOs. 1. Inadequate studies of human and environment's effects. 2. Possible mutations of organisms with unknown long-term effects. 3. Human consumption concerns, more allergic reactions, gene mutations and abnormalities, antibiotic resistance, nutritional value changes.
So let's proceed to our next slide, which is potential environmental risk caused by GMOs. Based on studies by Karki 2006 and Malfino and Soko 2008, GMOs can provide benefits, but they may also pose risk to the environment through gene transfer, resistance, and ecosystem disruption. First, risk in gene flow. Modified genes from GMO crops can spread to wild plants or soil organisms. This can happen when decaying GMO plants transfer genes to bacteria or fungi. It may cause unintended genetic changes in the environment. Example of risk in gene flow: GMO plant genes transferring to soil bacteria, changing how they function. The next one is emergence of new resistant and secondary pests. GMOs resistant to pesticides may cause new types of pest resistant. Overuse of herbicide-tolerant crops can lead to weeds that no longer respond to herbicides. This can make pest and weed control harder for farmers. And last but not the least, recombination of viruses and bacteria. Modified genes may combine with viruses or bacteria, creating new pathogens. These new pathogens could cause diseases in plants, animals, or even humans. Example, a GMO gene mixing with a soil virus leading to a new harmful strain.
So now let's proceed direct environmental risks and indirect environmental risks. So first, direct environmental. Introduce of the GMOs in the natural environment may cause disruption of the natural communities. The possibility of the unexpected behavior of the GMOs in the environment if they escape its intended use and may pose threats or become a pest. So direct environmental risk. Disease escape GMOs might act as a pest behave unpredictable. They can affect our natural cycles like soil, nutrients, and water balance. And GMO genes may remain in the environment after harvest, possibly harming consumer or other organisms. So for example, paglaganap ng Jenny sa ibang halaman. So, example, ang mais ng GMO ay maaring maglipat ng binagong Jenny sa mga karaniwang mais sa paligid. Kaya nawawala ang orihinal na katangian ng mga ito. At sa pagiging pesti ng GMO, ang ilang tanim ng GMO ay maaring lumago sa lugar na hindi naman dapat nilang pagtaniman at maging sagabal sa ibang halaman. At may pagbabago ng seklo ng kalikasan. Ang mga GMO ay maaaring makaapekto sa nutrisyon ng lupa o sa mga insekto na mahalaga sa pollination. So let's proceed in direct environmental risk. Alternation of agriculture practice like a managing negative impacts of GMOs to the environment such as evaluation of insects, pests and weeds that become resistant to GMO crops may have impact to biodiversity caused by the alteration and agriculture practice and maybe have varied environment impacts due to the GMO interaction and released in natural environment. So indirect environmental risk, there are farming methods may change leading to resistant insect and weeds, and the release and interaction of GMO nature by the cause of unpredictable long-term environmental effects. So in other words, paglitaw ng mga bagong peste at damo dahil sa sobrang paggamit ng pestiside sa mga GMO na tanim, nagiging mas matibay at lumalaban ng mga bagong uri ng peste at damo. At pagbawas ng biodiversity, kapag isang uri ng tanim lang ang itinanim, tulad ng GMO corn, nababawasan ang iba't ibang uri ng halaman at hayop sa paligid. Pangatlo, ang pagbabago ng paraan sa pagsasaka. Dahil umaasa ang mga magsasaka sa GMO seeds at chemical na nagbabago ang natural na pamaraan at pagtatanim at nagiging mas nakadepende sa teknolohiya.
So, good day everyone. Ako dahil si Jillian Joy Saraga o si Joat Pagubo. So, ang among topic karon kay potential human health risk caused by GMOs. So, ang mga GMO kay na ay potential health risk like allergic reactions, antibiotic resistance, o mga possible long-term effects sa health sa tao. Number 1 is adverse health effects. So, meaning ani na ay concern nga basin ang GMOs kay makabati sa kalusugan sa tao, kay dili sila natural nga gibuhat ug basin ay epekto nga wala pa kayo nasabtan. And number 2, digestive disruption. So gipakita diri kung unsaon nga pwede maapektuhan ng GMOs ang good bacteria o microorganisms sa atong tiyan nga pwede mag-cause og problema sa kalusugan. Number 3, GMO opposition. So gipakita diri nga daghang tao sa kalibutan ang nitutol og nagprotesta laban sa GMOs kay sa ilang kahadlok sa kalusugan ug nature. And last is Philippine ruling. So meaning ani ang desisyon ng Supreme Court laban sa BT eggplant sa Pilipinas kay example sa legal nga action laban sa GMOs na nagpakita og seryosong giaksyonan sa gobyerno.
Guardians of GMO safety, to keep our food and our planet healthy, international heroes have stepped in to watch over genetically modified organisms. So GMO stands for genetically modified organism. It means any living things, plants, animals, or microorganisms whose genes have been changed using modern science, biotechnology to give it new characteristics that don't occur naturally. Third, so the last is International Trade Agreement on GM Labeling. So this agreement gives consumers the power of choice. It requires labels on GM food so people can decide whether to buy GM or non-GM products. Knowledge, after all, is the best ingredient for safety. So for example, when you see contains genetically modified ingredients on a snack label, that the trade agreement in action, helping you make an informed choice. In short, these global efforts, led by WHO and FAO and others, work together to make sure every genetically modified bite we take as safe, informed, and responsibly managed.